Joining me, the senator from the great state of South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. Senator, thank you for joining. It's hard for me to imagine.
Thank you.
This storm is just now a Category 3, which is what Hugo was and devastated our state 30 years ago.
Yeah, this is the anniversary, I think, of Katrina hitting in New Orleans. I've got my goddaughter and her family lives there. They've lost power. We spent $18 billion on the levee systems. I hope it holds. I believe it will. This is a tough night, Sunday night, Trey, for America. We have a hurricane hitting Louisiana. God bless all those folks. 13 service members brought back from Afghanistan, paying the ultimate sacrifice. And I was just told a couple hours ago that we're going to abandon the embassy. All diplomatic resources will be taken out of Afghanistan in the next few days. We're going to close the gates. Everybody who's not out is going to be left behind. I asked them directly, the State Department, are you going to help the resistance in Panjshir Valley? They said no. So apparently we're putting all of our eggs in the Taliban basket, and I consider everybody left behind a hostage of the Taliban, a terrorist organization.
You mean, Senator, 20 years of service and sacrifice and the loss of life, and we can't even keep an embassy open in Afghanistan. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes, you did. I was told that the gates are now closed. We may get a handful out, but there are going to be hundreds of Americans left behind. Thousands of Afghans who bravely fought along our side are going to be abandoned. We're not going to help the resistance in Panjshir Valley, who really, I think, is the lawful government of Afghanistan. And there's talk by this administration that we have economic and diplomatic leverage over the Taliban. Let me make this very clear. I will fight with every ounce of my body a dime of aid to the Taliban. If this administration is thinking about paying a terrorist organization, the Taliban, to get Americans out and those who fought along our side, that would be a horrible idea, because why wouldn't other terrorist groups do the same thing? You'd be setting in motion basically a bounty on Americans all over the world. So if you're looking at giving Taliban any money, you got to go through me to do that. That's a horrible idea.
Senator, I think what people in South Carolina and across the country want to know is, was this the only way it could happen? I mean, if you want to withdraw, and I know there are different people on different sides, but does America have to look this feckless during our withdrawal?
No, Joe Biden chose the most dangerous and dishonorable path. I don't believe this was a military plan given to him and he agreed to it. I believe he rejected sound military advice and came up with the Biden plan. Wouldn't a normal person say, let's leave the military until we get all the civilians out? We took the military out, then we tried to get the civilians out. We had to send the military back in. Wouldn't a normal person keep Bagram Air Base open as a second evacuation site? Kabul Airport's in the middle of millions of people in the middle of a city. Bagram is a military installation out in the middle of nowhere. We could have done this differently. If you wanted to leave, we chose the worst possible way to leave. And I'm here to say that if we began to recognize the Taliban as the legitimate government of Afghanistan, you're legitimizing a coup d'etat. You're putting a bounty on Americans' heads all over the world by negotiating with terrorists. We should not be doing that. We should bleed them dry. We should be helping the people in Panjshir Valley who will fight along our side. We should give them aid and humanitarian assistance and stand up to the Taliban rather than give in to them.
Use the word hostage, Senator. That is a word that each of us can relate to. We've seen American hostages. Yeah. Do you believe that Americans who are there after Tuesday are hostages in Afghanistan?
I believe that every American left behind is a hostage of the Taliban. I believe the Taliban is a foreign terrorist organization and should be designated as such. And I think any effort to provide aid to the Taliban would be providing aid to Al-Qaeda and ISIS, a terrorist organization that would set in motion a series of events very dangerous for us all over the world. But that's the path that this administration, I think, is going down. They're about to take a terrible situation and make it a horrible situation. If we begin to negotiate with terrorists, then God help us all.
Senator, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing with us the latest that we're not even leaving the embassy open. We've closed the gates. Thank you for coming on a Sunday night.